guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanya, first of all, from Sudegigcrafts, and I just want to welcome you back if you are a regular subscriber. If you are just checking in today, welcome, and I hope that you will enjoy my content and consider subscribing. So today I am making faux handmade paper, and this is one of the ones that I've done, and I was going to show you guys what I've been up to. So I actually saw a video last night, and I will be sure to, I don't recall the name off the top of my head, but I will be sure to connect that link in the description box. And I wanted to try this today. I thought it was amazing and fun, and I have been making all kinds of these. And right now they're in several stages of wetness, so I thought I will show you how to do it. I am having a blast. Before I run out of supplies that I've already put together, I will show you what we did. So first of all, I'm using Mod Podge. I'm using a matte finish. You could use shiny, you use your preference. And I like to just put my Mod Podge on a plate. These plates are great because this stuff just, you know, put some warm water on there and it just peels up. So you can use any paper. She was using copy paper, tea-dyed coffee paper. I'm going to use this craft paper. This is just packaging paper that came in something along the way. So you can use it whatever paper you like. Give it a try. I've used this. I use some book page as well. I'll show you that one after a little bit because that one's turning out pretty cool, but it's still pretty wet. So I figure while I do this one, it'll just give it a little bit more time to dry, and then I'll show you that one too. Actually, that might be the one, well, I don't know, because I have a couple that I need to add the last steps to. That might be one of the ones that I need to do that too. So we'll see, but I will show you definitely. So I've just been having a blast. I've been watching some YouTube videos, catching up on those, and learning some stuff, and just having a great time. So I'm doing this on my glass mat. You could probably, if you don't have a glass mat, I'd recommend using a wax paper or something underneath that it won't stick. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I also did this on one of the really brittle pages from that book that I got recently. And I'm hoping that I'll have good results with that, and I will definitely let you know. That's one of the wettest ones I've done, so I won't be able to show you that yet. Okay, so now that this is all wet, we have to work fairly quickly. I've got torn up pieces of parchment paper I'm just gonna stick on here in any which way. I've got threads that I pulled from the sewing machine and from different scraps of fabric, and we're just gonna put this stuff on top. Just put it all over the place. You want different colors. You want to use, I've got string here. This is white butcher's twine, but I used my distress ink and just dabbed it on there in a bunch and just kind of stirred it and to give it a little extra color so it wasn't just all white. You just kind of want to put some stuff on here. Here's some green twiny stuff. So this stuff, I'll show you what that came off of. That came off of this, and I just kind of broke some stuff off of here and just sprinkled it because you want it to look like, you know, homemade paper. And what do they use? They use fibers of different sources, and I thought that would be a fun touch. I also want to use this in kind of a nature journal, so I thought the green would be nice in there. Yeah, so just kind of want to add that everywhere. Doesn't want to be, you don't want it to be too perfect. If you use threads, you want different colors. You can put little bunches. There's some red thread in there. The only thing I'm trying to keep out is like my hair, because that could happen. All right, I've got some little fibers from eyelash trim, because I thought they'd be a little different texture. So I kind of broke some of that up in there. I've got some fabric, little pieces that have frayed away. You just want to kind of add a little bit. Let's keep the glitter out. That's not quite the look we're going for. We'll keep the glitter out, which is kind of hard to do at my house. I keep finding it and I have to keep pulling it out there. So just kind of, you know, go ahead and make a mess of it. Have some fun. You know, you want to get it kind of all over the place. Nothing too perfect. Nothing too planned. So if you like a little mess. All right, then they use some tea. So I've got some loose tea here. Now what I've found with the loose tea though is that it will end up tearing your paper if it's not small. So I'm like crinkling it as I put it on there so that it's not in too big of grains, because otherwise it's a little bit more difficult to work with. And I was thinking some of my favorite homemade paper, and you know what, my glue is actually getting a little bit dry in lots of places. That's okay. One of the things I like in my handmade papers is like lavender or flowers, and it smells wonderful. So I'm going to sprinkle some lavender in here. I bought this big old block off Amazon for like 10 bucks a while back. It was crazy, ridiculously, I thought, cheap. And I realized I had it, and it's just, oh, it's beautiful. So I'll put this in here. All right, so once you're happy with that, and I think I'm fairly happy with that. There's a few things but I don't, oh, I do have some more of those pieces. I have little pieces of fabric I want to kind of stick in there because I love the way it looks. It's just a little more texture. And I know this looks kind of wonky. It's like, that does not look like handmade paper. What are you doing? It will, I promise. It will. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. Oh gosh, I want some of this paper in here. Just little pieces, no straight edges. Mix and match. Just kind of stick it. Okay, good enough. Just, Tanya, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm having fun. Can you tell I'm having fun? I love this. I love this process. I love the way it turns out. So, you know, we have these gorgeous decorative napkins, and they're 3 plies usually, and this one was as well, but I've used the white plies already, so I'm going to use this picturesque one. And you saw how it turned out on the one I showed you, and it was gorgeous. So take your 1 ply, you have to peel those plies apart. Take your 1 ply, press it down over the top. I know you can't see the stuff underneath, but you will, I promise. All right, so here's what you're gonna do. After you do that, start from the middle and just start lightly wiping on your Mod Podge. Okay, be careful because this is where it can tear. If it does tear, you can use a piece of your napkin and just tear a little piece off and just patch that tear real quick. Just be super gentle and it's less likely to tear. It's going to wrinkle, it's going to bunch, that's okay. Just be careful not to try to spread those wrinkles out because that's when it will tear. So I'm gonna try to go all the way to the edge of my other paper, and I think I'm there. I'm trying not to glue this to the desk because I will need to lift this off. Also, if you use parchment paper underneath, it'll be easier to lift off the desk. So that's another good reason to use it. Try to get the bubbles out. You want a good seal. But if there are bubbles, I'm finding it's not that big of an issue. And as it dries, see there's a big bubble right there. I'm gonna try to press that out a little bit. There we go. I still feel like there's a big bubble, but if I try too hard, it's going to tear. It will. So I'm gonna just kind of let it do its thing. The moisture is going to make it sink and stick. So we're okay, and there's still paper over here, so let's go this way. You guys, these have just turned out so beautiful, and I just, I'm excited to use them in my journals. As you can see, I'm using mushrooms. I'm thinking about my daughter-in-law. I found this napkin. I was like, oh, I know exactly which journal this is going in. I have been looking for things to put in her journal, and very, very excited to have found this one. I think this one was sent to me by Jacqueline Haley. She sent me a bunch of napkins, and this might have been one of them. Maybe. I know I've gotten some from a couple other people too, but it's hard to remember, you guys. I apologize if somebody else gave me this and not Miss Haley. But it is a beauty. Okay, so that's what you do first, okay? That's the first part of it. that's the biggest part. Now, because this is going to be stuck to my desk, I'm going to carefully lift this off. Now, you probably could use a hair dryer or heating tool to dry this before you try to lift it off. I'm not going to because I feel like it might bubble, and I don't want to do that. So you could definitely give it a try. I have not tried it. Can't say if it works or not because I haven't tried it. So next up, let me set this aside and grab one that's almost done. I think these two. So if you, hang on, let me wipe this up. Let me wipe this down real quick. Not doing a very good job of it, but it's better than it was. Okay, lots of Mod Podge going on today. You can do it on book page. You can see the print through it. So this was on the print was on the paper. Really, really cool. And then you can see the lavender and then the fabrics and the threads. I love how the threads are sticking out. Oh, that's not thread. That's actually raffia. So I use that raffia stuff, and I tore it into really thin strips. And I think I forgot to do that on this one I just did, but that's okay. So they'll all be different. And you can see little parts where it's lifted up and not actually sealed. You can see green threads in there, red threads. You can see the lavender. You can see all that goodness through there. Then once that's done, you're going to have, well, I did because I didn't cut it to shape, but you'll have some tissue that sticks out the edge. You can just kind of tear that. You can trim it with scissors if you prefer a straighter edge. I like the torn look a little better, so I just kind of peeling that off, tearing it off, making it look a bit rustic. Trying not to tear the paper. You will, of course, you won't be able to tear the threads, which is another part that I like. I like that sticking out. Gives it a really cool look. And that's the way that goes. So once you do that, here, I'm going to do it to this one too. And we can do these at the same time. You guys, I do suggest try it. This is going to be really bendable. It's kind of, it's really pliable. It's cool. This is old paper, and I'm not going to bend this one as easily. I don't think. I'm scared to. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. But look, it bends, and it didn't do anything to it. It didn't ruin it. So you could make. Isn't that neat? Look at that. Okay, so next step is to get out to your dyes or your gilding wax. I used gilding wax on mine. I'm a sucker for the gold look. You know, gilding wax is, I love it. And just lightly go over it, and you'll see the highlights come up from where those textures are underneath. You want to go lightly because you're not trying to cover that, just trying to highlight it. And it just looks so, so neat. Get some on the edges. So much fun. Okay, can you guys, let me see it here near the camera. Can you see that gold on there? Isn't that beautiful? Ah, love it. So this is without the gold. Here, I'll do half of this page and then half with it and half without. I'll show you the difference. I know it's hard with the camera to see some of these things that we do. They're such faint details, and it's hard to see sometimes. So I'll try to capture some of that. All right, so this is the side that I did it on. I put the gold gilding wax on, and this is the side without it. Still beautiful, but you can see such a difference, can't you? So let's go ahead and put the gold on this side. And when you start putting the gilding wax and the color on these, it'll help cover up some of the white that came up. The white is just where it didn't connect to that paper behind. You could probably recoat it in glue and get it to take, but you know what? I didn't do that. I just didn't do it. because I'm not mad about it. I think it's fine the way it is. I'm happy with it, actually. It adds some more textural difference. It just adds something different. So I'm okay with it being like that. But you might not be, and then my suggestion would be to go back over it with some more Mod Podge and make sure that it sticks down really well. Again, when you get it wet, it might tear, so just keep that in mind. All right, so not only a gold, but I'm also gonna get out my distress ink, okay? I'm gonna use some walnut stain, and this is just gonna add some more color. And just lightly get in there. Again, it doesn't add a huge, now you could do this backwards. I probably should do the brown before the gold, but I didn't because, you know, I love the gold and that's what I was excited about. So just kind of dab it in, add some variation in color. You can get it in there to the white part so that they're not quite so dark or so bright. Don't show quite as much. Get it around the edges. Make those edges look nice and dark. I can tell you that between the tea and the lavender, this smells wonderful. So if for no other reason, try it. It'll smell good. I'm really enjoying it. See how beautifully textured that looks? Oh my goodness. Now let's try this one. Because it's so white, I'm not sure how well this brown is going to go on here, so I'm going to go really light-handed, starting from the edges, because I do want that a little darker at least. But I want to be really, really careful not to go too heavy in the middle. So this is going to be a super quick little tutorial here. I hope you like it. I hope you'll try some yourself. See how it goes. I get to go in the little here. This is nice with the dark. Just adding a little variation of color. I think it's beautiful. I think it's perfect. Now you can add other colors too. Don't be afraid to do some unnatural colors like maybe blue or something like that. That's not really my thing. So I'm not going to do that. I do have a little bit more reddish brown, and I'm going to lightly go over. This one's going to be pretty subtle because this inker is very, very fairly dry. I can see a little bit of detail, but not much, and that's just fine with me. I don't even know if it'll show it all on this one because there's so much color going on here, but I'm going to try it. Just, again, for texture variation, different colors are going to add different look. There we go. So you guys, these are my faux handmade papers. There's lots and lots of texture there. I think they'll be fun to use in journals or tags. Making tags would be beautiful with those, don't you think? So I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, try lots of variations of different things. Oh, I wanted to show you one with the green in it. Let me see. I do have this one. This one's not completely dry yet. It's still got a lot of wetness to it, but you can definitely see the green coming through. Actually, that one's on top. That little grain is on top. But you can definitely see the green popping through. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to see you guys trying it because this is a lot of fun, I promise. So check out that other video if you like. Otherwise, give it a shot. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.